Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Power and Diversity, Part 2. Power and Diversity, Part 2. My ongoing commentary on Byrne Power and Diversity. Really long title, I don't remember. But he does have a cool thumbnail that I went and got. Come on. Hey, there we go. Boom. Oh, no, get on top of me. Oh, come on. There you go. All right, Power and Diversity. Here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And that I would record it instead of live streaming it for a more intimate experience with me for everyone to enjoy. Like something I don't want to think about. Me and Byrne hanging out, non-consensually, virtually not alone.
Different. This is how it should be. Embracing different stories and ideas.
We're going to devote our energies to sports and gardening, all the cultural.
Wow, we were muted that whole time, you sorry sack of... Hey, let's make the thumbnail while we're here. See, what you do is you get your old OBS thing set up the way you like it, and then you make sure that you selected the biggest thing that's outside the thing, and then you alt print screen, and then open it up in Paint, and you've pasted your thumbnail. You just got to trim out the OBS. Remember, Embody, there is no agency. Remember, Embody, we want what's best for you. The Anadromist versus Grim Grizz and the Lobster Monkeys, Part 2. Part 2, Diversity versus Diversity. The reason this exists, the reason my friends, monkeys, and people just watching, is I made my commentary video, and then he did something that other people like Peugeot are really bad at, and he commented something meaningful. He said, "Grizzly and grim. I might as well be the first to respond. I feel honored to get the teleological surrealist treatment. Grizz. Yes, I do remember talking to you well over a year ago. Not well, it's barely over. I should get you on my channel again officially. So yes, you should. Thanks for the commentary on the first 5 minutes of my video." And see, it's that first 5 minutes of my video part that lets me know that he's not an NBC anymore. He's a player character now. And so, thus, now exists parts 2, when I was happy to just never talk to it again. He decided he wanted to play. So we are going to play Diversity versus Diversity. Or, as I call it, Power and Diversity. And my face is really large right now. There's, in one of the more recent Wiggles at the end, there's Robert Greene, and he's famous for writing the book The Laws on Power, which there's a part that they made a cartoon part from that I want to show you a clip of sometime. But in that one, he's given a speech to a bunch of young folks, and he talks about how the masters don't let anything stop them from practicing. And that keeps echoing in my head and keeping me doing this nonsense. So you can thank Power for this content, if you like it, and subscribe to it, and comment on it, so the algorithm knows it's... Remember, Embody, we want what's best for you. Okay, here we go. Let's get to it then. I've taken notes. The section at 9:11. To use my secret codes for my sources, ladies and gentlemen, you just highlight it, copy that, and then paste it over that part of the URL you already have there.
There is a definite goal amongst the movements to put pressure on the mass media and entertainment to promote this idea of...
Ooh, that's a part I'm going to jump to at the end of the video. But first, let's go to 9 minutes and 11 seconds in the video where I have written down something of note.
Voice of the oppressed person to speak. And I think this is what we mean by equity. And of course, notice that it's essentially being asked to happen, but it's not being asked, it's being promoted.
Pro tip. When you're a dumbass taking notes, don't put the note at the timestamp of the note at the end of the thing you're going to talk about. Put it at the front of the thing you're going to talk about.
And these oppressions intersect. And so the healthy white middle class woman would have to submit a bit, get down.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is the intersection inversion. The like when you take something good, like there's a plane on the graph, right? And it's a good thing, and it's way up here good. And when you come down to and it intersects the line and starts becoming bad, this is what the inversion here is, that in place of where we take a virtue like stoicism, instead of having that, we are taking oppression and going, the most virtuous thing about you is how historically oppressed your phenotype is. Like oppression is what is the virtue we're holding high. There's been an inversion. The remarkable thing about those people is how they value oppression. Pendulums.
I think this is what we mean by equity. And of course, notice that it's essentially being asked to happen, but it's not being asked, it's being promoted. And there's a big difference to that. Jews are also considered to be white Europeans, which I think a certain group of National Socialists back in World War II would find very funny, because they didn't see them as white Europeans at all. And in fact, they saw them as the source of all the problems.
See, the problem with the National Socialists, ladies and gentlemen, is what they thought was a problem was really middle management. The humor here in the Nazi inversion is the nationalist part is inverted, it's global, and the socialist part is inverted because reasons. Fascism.
Now, Jews are essentially considered to be among the more privileged classes, therefore white, as are, oddly enough, Asians in America. Now, what's funny is, evidently these people who are seeing this new version.
Oh, and then he says something interesting again at 1303, or it ends at 1303.
California side building the Trans-Pacific, the Transcontinental Railway that built the railroads. And when they took the picture at in Utah of the meeting of the railroads, there's not one Chinese person in that photo. There's a lot of Irish people in that photo because they were a little a notch up, but not one Chinese person.
Now, I thought this part was relevant because if we want to make actual reparations, it needs to be through our currency, financially, through our legal and economic systems. And one of the most brilliant ways to do that is to trace by genealogy the profits of such things from the railroads, and then cut in the surviving members of the family with all from where that profits went. A reckoning? A machine learning reckoning? What?
Asian people have been tremendously discriminated against. However, Asians do something that other groups don't do. We follow this model of oppression. A white woman should always defer to a black woman because the white woman has more privilege. A trans woman, male to female, has been more oppressed than a black woman. So the black woman should defer to the trans woman.
Okay, so this part is about how the biggest privilege, or the biggest sin in the new religion is winning the birth lottery. The last thing you want to be in where everyone is in poverty is extremely wealthy. So the biggest sin you can have is to have in amongst the have-nots.
Different types need to be promoted in the media. Now, here's the thing: is what I mean by type.
Here's the thing. That's an obfuscation, Byrne. That what everyone should if anyone had the Grim Grizz glasses, they would see a couple of things here. It's the need for promotion. It's the voicelessness without media attention that's being felt, and like that's the undercurrent. And if you focus on like where they're aiming it, you're not going to see where it's coming from. And where it's coming from is like, okay, so check this out. This is a long trippy thing, and I'm going to lose some people. But once upon a time, there were princes and monarchs, and what was really the most interesting thing to the evil stepsisters was what was going on in the castle. And then what happened was astrology. Yeah, that's right. They invented stars, you see, stars. And now all people cared about was stars and looking at the stars. And they weren't paying attention to what the crown was doing anymore. Did you know the corona of the sun is the shiny part on the outside? Oh, where were we? Oh, yes, the stars. And like, okay, so all of my Game of Thrones people. Notice that when Daenerys freed the slaves, she really ran into trouble when she actually started to govern, to hear the people. Like, the redress of grievances. She had to sit on the throne and redress grievances. Where's that at? Where is the redress of grievances, ladies and gentlemen? Where?
Types. I mean a type of person, a type of image, a type of individual. But it's largely a visual type. I mean, you can see that, this person is trans.
Is manifesting in their meat sack as trans. Ladies and gentlemen, today is November 30th, 2021. Watch. All right, Byrne, thank you for your help. That's the first 20 minutes now. We'll see if we get enough response to make a part 3 of your diversity versus diversity commentary worthy. I think so. I think we're breaking new ground here. But now I have to talk to everybody else who's just here for the community and the channel stuff. Please stay. Everybody who's here for the culture war stuff, this is gonna bore you. You could probably watch the whole thing Byrne did. And that is thumb 1. All right, there we are. Assuming that I only created the church, which was the state, that my function as leader and sorry, I read things sometimes. Today is November 30th. Where's the date? Why is it not? Oh, you got to look, guys. I didn't even show you, or fix it. Look at that. Dun, 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 dun. If you had a monkey, they would edit the stuff out for you, but you have to do it yourself. So now here we go. It's not hard. There's no fourth wall. Okay. Today is November 30th, and as somebody whose trademark slogan is now, I have a Patreon. The last day of the month is Patreon Edging Day, because Patreon takes all of your hits your wallets tomorrow. And so if I come on and I make content, I'm running the risk of either not offending you so you cancel before it hits, which go ahead, if you're not feeling it, I don't want you to support things you don't actually support. That'd be whatever of me. But I will tell you that Patrons do have exclusive access to videos like the chess match with me and Nolan. So, in a special, and after that, Sachet is Thos, lady friend. After the first of the month, a new patron of the month will be selected. Gideon was the big winner this time. Where am I? There I am. Hey. Gideon was the big winner for November as the only patron. But now there's going to be a competition if your checks don't bounce. And you, if you hurry, could be on that board all of next month. Special thanks to my Shadow Cabal of production executives, Gideon, Gavin, Harvey, Lance, KW, DD, Maximus, and Little OR. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. No, wait. Nah.